It's day 6, the 28th of October. Last night we stayed at Derrick Knob Shelter. It was quite eventful. It was a full shelter. We got in with no water left. Went down and just guzzled a bunch of water. So anyway, after we were done eating, or maybe in the middle of dinner, these three local gentlemen showed up, and you know, they're smoking and this and that. It's like, whatever. They were friendly enough. So I went to bed at about 9, which is late for me. Todd was smart and he went out and hung his hammock since the shelter was pretty full. Well, what happened was these guys were up until I don't know what time. Their lantern was shining right into the shelter, making it light in there. So I went out to the bathroom. I asked them if they could move their lantern a little, which they did. So I think they were drinking because it smelled like booze. So they come in the shelter at who knows what time, and this guy, he's laying next to me and he's rocking all over the place. He rolls up on me twice. I push him off, and then he starts spitting. He's spitting like on the floor, and then one of the other guys is like making a bunch of noises. So, needless to say, about 2 a.m. I had enough and grabbed my backpack and everything, and 2 other thru hikers did the same thing. They actually started hiking at 2 a.m. and I went out and put my backpack up near Todd. So that was probably my worst shelter experience ever. But anyway, let's go on to today. We're going to go over Clingman's Dome. We're going to it's going to be a long day, probably. I forget how many miles, but we're just going to take our time and get there. It's sunny again. Hope to dry off. It's nice and warm. So even a bad day is a good day on the AT. So we'll talk to you later. Any words of wisdom there, Blister?
Watch your moonshine.
Watch your moonshine. And then out the other side, it's not much of a view, but we're heading towards Siler's Bald Shelter, which we're gonna take a little pack break, relax, and then probably lunch at the next shelter. That's a couple miles away from there. All right, take a quick break. There's nice views up here. There's some smoke down in the valley over there. It might be that same smoke that we saw that other day. But I'll give you some quick look at Siler Bald Shelter. Little field. Probably everybody's gone. Yeah. So, quick break here. Here's my water situation. Just this little thing coming out. I'm getting about a cup every minute or so. So it's going to take a while to fill up the liters we need. That's how dry it is right now in the Smokies. Hey, we're stopping for lunch at Double Spring Gap Shelter, I believe it's called. And I want to show you a little of my lunch today. I still have some cheddar cheese that I mailed and some of this boar's head salami. And I'm putting it on some Triscuit crackers. So we were able to get decent water here. I mean, it took me a while to fill up these 3 liters, but the water's coming out at a trickle, but it's better than what we've had. Probably the second best that we've had this whole trip, barring maybe the third best for the whole trip, the second best for the Smokies. Alright, so the goal for the afternoon is to get up over Clingman's Dome. It's a beautiful clear day, so I guess we're very fortunate in that regard. I'll take some pictures and video from up there, and then from there we got a little bit of a hike to go to get to our shelter. So it's our longest day, but possibly hopefully we'll get there before dark. All right. We're about 2.4 miles from Clingman's Dome. I just want to show you how the landscape has changed as we've gone up in elevation around here. A lot of pine trees, Christmas looking pine trees, and I don't know where Blister went. There he is. Smells so good. And then look at the ground. You can see the trail is nice and smooth, and there's little pine needles on it instead of a bunch of leaves. There's still some regular trees putting leaves down like this, but when you can see all the rocks, you can walk a little better. We're going to climb, well, from the last shelter where I did the last video, we're climbing 1,100 feet, and that'll put us at Clingman's Dome. And then when we get there, we're gonna obviously go up and take a look, and then we want to, the last section of the day obviously is to get to our shelter, which is going to be pretty steep downhill, pretty steep uphill, and I'll actually, somewhere down that hill, I'll hit 200 miles on the southern portion of the AT. It's kind of a good milestone. Straight up through there, you can see the peak of Clingman's Dome. We're probably on top of Mount Buckley. We're almost there. That was a tough climb up Mount Buckley. Hey, it's Turk and Blister, and we have reached Clingman's Dome. So we're going to walk up this wheelchair accessible ramp, and going to take some views up top. And we were pretty darn lucky to get a clear day. As you can see, this is a very busy place, but I'll give you a view.
Theo, come here. I need you.
How do you live with this monster?
What monster?
You!
Am I rolling up?
You guys gotta go find it.
Yeah.
Get in the shade.
Felicity,
Hold on, please.
bye-bye.
No, Felicity.
That'll be fine.
You have to save something because
Way over there, on the farthest mountains are the mountains that I hiked last year. And then this year, we've come all around over here. Turk and Blister. Highest spot on the AT. It's all downhill from here. Yeah, I don't know how long. This is a school.
I need to tie my shoe. Wait.
Yeah.
No. You're good. Gabby.
So we're gonna go down and rest for a second, and get a little water, and then be on our way shortly. Yep, that's the old tower right there. Hey, sometime probably in the last couple minutes, I became a 200-miler on the southern part of the AT. Todd's got a little bit more to go, but by the end of this, he'll be close. But that's kind of cool. Mile 200 from Springer Mountain to halfway down Love Mountain. All right, it's getting dark. We're probably going to end up getting into camp with our headlamps on. Sun's setting in the west over there through the woods. You can see it barely just peeking over the top. And then that's it. It's gone. So we probably have maybe 15-20 minutes more of actual daylight, and then we'll have to switch to headlamps. And we're not that far out now, probably under 2 miles. Well, we're desperately trying to find a sign leading to a trail, and then it's only a half a mile from there. We've been hiking in the dark now for 25 minutes, probably 20 minutes. So it's basically been a long day, and we want it to be over soon. But going down these mountains with steps like this in the dark, still gotta be careful. And our legs are the most tired they've been probably all day, so. Alright, I gotta get back. Today we started at Derrick Knob, made some climbs out of there, and then had a long day of climbing. Took a little break at Cyrus Bald. Sorry, that was lunch at Double Spring Gap Shelter. And then just started climbing over Mount Buckley, which is very steep, over Clingman's Dome. And started going down Mount Love. I hit the 200-mile mark somewhere in here. And then we spent the night here at Mount Collins. You can see from Derrick Knob, it was nothing but a pretty long climb all the way to Clingman's Dome, which is at 6,647 feet. Steep down Mount Love, and then back up to Mount Collins.